at the end of the day, and my biggest fear is the power goes down.
Matt Bracken of enemiesforeigndomestic.com. Go ahead and make those points about the kinetic level if we enter the kinetic realm. Because we're already there with them calling for it. Their attacks, their probing, their tracking, their demonization of us. They're saying, kill us. We're subhuman. We're demons. And I look at their weak throngs, never involved in violence, never involved in the execution of raw physical power. Those that generally are respected, even if they're good or bad. And it's almost comical to see them trying to enter a more chivalrous domain.
Well, it's rather pathetic. These guys wearing the masks seem like scrawny little weaklings. But I did see a video, this John Brown shooting club or whatever they call it. You know, they are getting some weapons training.
Oink, oink, bang, bang, kill the cops.
But I don't, you know, expect them to match up in any kind of tactical way, but they don't need to. But I do expect a firearms false flag, either shooting into a crowd of liberals or shooting a liberal media figure. But once media figures are targeted, media figures, and I would have to also say judges that are involved in disputed court cases. And I'm not saying it would be from the right or from the left, but if a left-wing judge, say a judge that's involved in Amnesty Open Borders movement, using their robe as their weapon, as their means of achieving power. When one of these judges is killed, there'll be right-wing propaganda left, some kind of like a right-wing connection. Then we're going to see a back and forth. And once judges and media figures have to go into hiding, it's going to completely change the nature of media in this country. When a Stephen Colbert or an Alex Jones, for example, is taken out, I see a rapid escalation, and it's going to be at that point a sniper battle with people hunkering down and going into hiding. Then we're going to see bombs. The mails are harder to use for bombing anymore.
Sure, but how do we get around the fact that the globalists will be in control of most of the major city police forces? They're going to order them out, hoping we get in a civil war with them. What do you recommend the police do? I've had a lot of them talk to me about this. They're fully aware of what's going on. What do we do when they know it's the globalists and Soros that are launching the operations to try to federalize them, to get them killed, to get them intimidated into Strong Cities Initiative under the UN? And even though Trump's in, still those programs roll forward because the deep state's in rebellion. What do we do when cops that aren't even bad guys have a fake warrant to come get you and take you to some sports stadium where communists are going to torture the hell out of you? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to fight the cops, but, I mean, if they're following illegal orders, I have no choice but to defend myself.
By that point, we'll be in the middle of a shooting civil war, and it will be more like in Argentina in the 70s Civil War, with death squads, which will be some policemen off duty or retired, ex-military, et cetera. But, it'll be drive-bys, Molotov cocktails through the window, that kind of a war. It'll be very ugly. And at that point, I don't know what the media is, what's going to be left of the media. Well,
sure, and I don't want to brag about the conservatives and the patriots, but, I mean, wouldn't you say on average they're about 20, 30, 40 times, I don't want to exaggerate, 50 times, more trained, more vicious, more focused, more committed, with more will than the type of scum we're going to be fighting if this happens?
Especially if you say who can take targets out at 500 yards plus. If you're talking about 500-yard riflery, then it's probably 100 to 1. But it doesn't, so the street demonstrations will probably be outlawed because they'll attract shooters. The street demonstrations will start to look like Berlin in the 1930s, with open warfare between
street battles, the beer hall putsch.
Right, street battles, and then we're going to be into a whole new realm. But I think that once a few high-profile media figures are assassinated, then I can't tell what's going to happen. But this shooting of the Transformers in Henrico, Virginia, everybody with a rifle gets a veto on electricity, and it doesn't suit many people to have the lights go out, but enough people will say, you know what? I hate the people on the other side of the river, and if I blow up that transformer, their power goes down. The people on that side of the river are going to say, how come they still have their lights on? Transformers are so vulnerable.
And the tit for tat spreads from there.
The tit for tat, and at the end of the day, and my biggest fear is the power goes down. I don't focus on Would it be an EMP, a solar flare?
Our civilization is based
collapse.
on the mutual respect and the social compact, social contract, and that's being deliberately broken by the globalists to usher in chaos. And bottom line, the only hope we have of averting this is an well-educated, informed information warfare culture that spreads the word so aggressively we break the back of this. And then if we go into shooting war, it's essential that the globalists that are going to try to do this from 5,000 miles away be brought to justice by hook or by crook, folks. And so that's the bottom line.
If they can't be brought to justice because they're sitting in Patagonia in a fortified
compound,
but the minions, the downstream minions, follow the money. The loyal, patriotic, honorable FBI special agents that have this information, they've got to safeguard this information and in time get it to the patriots, because it's the mid-level minions. It's not these goofballs with the black masks. These retards with the black masks, and we can't reach George Soros. But there are all of these levels in between. Who's the New Zealand Loudon, the New Zealand documentarist? Gosh, I can't think. Who's done fantastic work exposing the money, how it flows from Soros to DNC.
I know he is. He's the older guy. Does a great job. It's
right. It's essential that we find out all of these mid-level links. The ones that are passing out the money, the ones that are renting the halls and all these fleets of buses. Those are the guys that have to be. They will be key enemies to take out. Without them, the street thugs are nothing. And the street thugs are nothing, basically, once it goes shooting.
And let's be clear, we're not trying to plan anything offensive here. They're all over TV saying, kill the president, kill us. They're organizing for war. They're saying they're coming to kill us. We have to try to fix things peacefully, but to secure peace, we have to prepare for war as well.
And everybody, it's very important. There are so many scenarios where this goes sideways. Nobody at the beginning.
What if they kill Trump? The guy's got a lot of courage. He's really out there. We know they've, compromising with his security. I mean, who believes that senior Secret Service agent left that stuff in her car?
Exactly. So I for sure. And I think that the chances of something like that happen, it can happen. And it could be some other thing that will originally be called a black swan event, even though in retrospect, black swans are all, foreseeable. But people put on their blinders. 9/11 was foreseeable, but we didn't foresee it in time.
All right, Matt, you got to come back next week. Just we need to put you on. And by the way, I'm going to launch a bunch of roundtable shows with 3 people, 5 people, you name it, and syndicate them. Our stations want to pick them up all over the country, and I want to work with GCN on that if they're able to. But I'm going to launch it the next couple months, so we need to talk to you and a lot of other folks about doing that. You wouldn't have to do it every day because it'd be roundtables. If you wanted to do one every day, you'd be welcome to. And you've got great audio, great equipment. You sound great. We want to send you some more stuff, but try to get you on board. So let's stay in contact, buddy.
Thank you.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.